All right, everybody, we have Phillies Game 1 starter Zack Wheeler with us. Who would like to start us off? Start with Todd, front left.
Hey, Zach, just wondering, in the postseason pitch timer, do you think it's going to be more of a challenge? Is that something you guys have talked about, just how to try to slow the game down if you need to?
It's not something I really thought about, but I know other people probably have, and I know it's been spoken about, especially early on, spring training and early in the season, what it was going to be like in the playoffs. But I feel like for the most part, we've all adapted to it by now. But, it is the playoffs. There are bigger moments, bigger times that we do need to step back, think about something that we just did, or think about something, that we're going to be doing pitch-wise or swing-wise, whatever it may be. I think it is bigger moments, and, not a big fan of the pitch clock, but it is what it is.
JT was just in here. He said when the Phillies are at their best, Nola's at his best. And I'm wondering what you've seen from him over his last two starts that might have you encouraged about him carrying that performance through the rest of the month.
Yeah. I think he showed it last year in the playoffs. He's a great pitcher. But, when we needed him, he stepped up, along with some other guys, and he pitched very well for us. So we know he's not afraid of the big moments, and that's the kind of guys that you need. And he's been great here in Philly. He's taken the ball every single start, and he's a great guy. And I'm really looking forward to watching him pitch.
Let's go to Deuces all the way in the back.
Zach, going through the run last year, what did you learn last year that might help you this year in terms of approach or anything like that?
Honestly, not much. I mean, I try to go out there and pitch the same, no matter what type of game it is, whether it's spring training or regular season or playoffs. I try not to get too high and not try to get too low. Keep the same mindset, but obviously there are more implications and it's a bigger stage. But you have to keep your emotions in check, and that allows you to keep your body in check and not overthrow, even if you're not trying to. So, just take a step back, enjoy it. I think that was maybe a thing that I, took away from it. Just enjoy the moment. Even when you're not pitching, just enjoy the crowd, the moment. This is what we work for, is to get to the playoffs, win the World Series, and hopefully that's where we get to.
Go over here to Tim on the right.
Hey, Zach, during your time with the Mets, you were kind of a guy that a lot of people thought flashed the star potential. What's allowed you in your first 4 years with the Phillies to realize that on a more consistent basis?
I think there's a few different things. Probably first and foremost, just mechanically, just being consistent with it. I changed my arm path when I came back from Tommy John. Took me a while, just because you've thrown for so long a certain way, to really get a hold of it and make it work every single pitch. Once I did that, my command got a lot better, night and day, and that definitely helped, because I always had the velo. Just didn't have the best command consistently. So once I started doing that, it definitely helped me out, helped out the off-speed pitches also. And, I've got a lot of help since I've been over here pitching coach-wise. Price when I first came, and then, Caleb. So Caleb's really helped me out with my off-speed stuff, and, he knows how to spin the ball and teach it. So that's helped me out, and I'm sure you could see it with everybody else also. Just give credit to those guys. But, I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just mechanically just being able to repeat it, the changes that I made, and just understanding that I do have the stuff to go right after guys, and just trust that.
We'll go right here to the front. Alex.
Hey, Zach. You've mentioned a few times that you've thought about last year's playoff run, this past off season and this season. So just mentally and physically, where are you at, entering tomorrow's start?
I don't know. I'll be there. Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to think about, but that's in the past, and we're here now with a new year, new playoffs. So this is what I'm worried about.
Any other questions for Zach? We'll go to Destiny over here on the right.
What What are your thoughts on the Marlins lineup and the power bats that they've added and the overall scrappiness of the team?
Yeah, they already had a good lineup, and then they added Berger and Bell. So, those two guys, I've seen them play a lot, and they're really good also. That was a couple good ads for them. So, they got a good lineup, deep lineup. They're kind of scrappy, but they put together some innings, and they know how to play ball and they know how to hit. So, I feel like they got a good approach, but you just have to keep them off the bases because they do have speed, and they'll get after you a little bit. So you just have to pound the zone, get ahead early, and try to keep them off the bases.
Deuces in the back.
What do you remember about the atmosphere here last year, and what do you expect it to be like tomorrow?
I expect it to be the same as last year, maybe a little bit more. It was special. It was loud. You could feel it. You could literally feel it. And hopefully they bring that energy this year. We're looking forward to playing here right away in front of our crowd. And we started out on the road last year, so we couldn't wait to get back here. We're trying everything to get back here, and we were able to. So this year we're able to start out here, and hopefully we just got those good vibes from last year.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.